I can't believe that my 1.2 factory is actually perfect for the 1.3 patches. Even though it's gonna clog itself when the heavy Xiranite is maxed out, but in the new patch, it's gonna unclog itself, so it doesn't really matter. Cause let's be real, the problem that we have with the factory right now is overproducing, and my 1.2 factory is producing slightly more than we can sell. So you don't have to like keep coming back to the factory, micromanaging the stuff that we overproduce so that it wouldn't max out the storage and clog the factory eventually. But of course, I do have my 1.3 factory ready. It is definitely more optimized than the 1.2, even though we are already producing more than we can sell with the 1.2 blueprint. But it also comes with the production modification, so it produces as much as the 1.2 factory. Feel free to skip to the blueprint, but for now, I want to talk about the problem with the patch 1.3 factory. My name is Ryusuke, I do commentary on gacha game, and don't forget to like and sub. There's a pretty huge problem with the 1.3 factory patch. All the factory videos out there are getting like less than 10k, even after like 2 days, and I'm talking about the bigger content creators out there. Even like Houston5, who would have get about like over 100k at this point. But I still decide to make this video out of due diligence. And I think the problem is pretty obvious. We are overproducing. And TLDR, if you're using any 1.2 blueprint out there, you will still be producing more than you can sell. And I think this makes people think they don't really need it for now. And they are kind of right. So this is the total bill earning of 1.3 is 66k per hour. But if you take a look at the total earning of 1.2 blueprint, it's about 71k. After taking away 4 battery per minute to maintain the factory, we still got 5k of surplus in the patch 1.3. And with my new blueprint, you're gonna earn the net of 81k, or maybe like 75k. It's gonna be 15k per hour of surplus. And it's gonna be roughly the same if you use any other good 1.2 or 1.3 blueprint. So you can actually walk away without updating your factory at all. The 1.2 blueprint is already sufficient for the 1.3. So there's no real incentive to expand your factory. And as a hardcore factory player, I do have problem with the current factory patch. I think the number one thing that people talks about is capping the amount of product that you can sell. Capping in itself is not the real problem in my opinion, because without capping the progression, it's gonna turn the game into the rat race. The real issue is what follows after capping. Like let's say if you max out on the battery, the production of Xiranite part and the syringe gonna slow down because the sewage that was supposed to produce the battery is now clogged in the refining unit. And if you max on the Xiranite part and the syringe, you're not gonna be able to produce sewage to produce the battery. Heavy Xiranite also has a similar problem because one of your heavy Xiranite production gonna be relying on the purification unit, and maxing the heavy Xiranite in the storage will lead to the stop of the whole battery production line. The thing is, the system is punishing those who are doing well with the factory, producing more stuff, but that's gonna lead you filling up the storage faster, and you're gonna come back frequently selling the stuff from the storage so that your factory wouldn't clog when it's producing too many stuff. And I think the fix is gonna be pretty simple. Whenever you produce beyond the maximum storage, the item should be disposed automatically to keep the factory running and not punishing people who actually produce more. And the clogging problem caused by filling up the storage doesn't seem to be intended. It does seem like they're trying to design the factory in the way that you only need to come back every 3 days, because the outpost needs 3 days to fill up the stock bill. And the other idea that I have is, if the outpost is running out of the stock bill, they should allow us to sell the stuff with 1/4 of the price, because they do have the mechanics to cap the amounts of stock bill that we could earn. The resource is the most direct one, and the other thing is the weekly maximum stock bill. It's gonna reset every week, so I think it's fair to let us sell a little bit more. And this is the economy for this blueprint. The total income gonna be like 94.5k. And you might be seeing other blueprint that is making 9 Xiranite part per minute, which we are also producing exactly the same amounts of stock build. It's gonna be easier to manage, but it comes with a downside, which is you're gonna lose the storage for the syringe and arguably the JinCao juice. The factory gonna be producing 305 sewage per minute. So if you purified all those sewage in the test area, you're gonna get 10 zircon effluent per minute, which is still not worth it, but you can save up to 550 power, cause you don't need to build water treatment. You are very likely to get over 66k power if you don't connect the pipe to the test area, and you might need some extra battery from the Valley 4 or the LC battery. And without any battery regulator, you're gonna be using about 2100 battery per day. You can smuggle it from the Valley 4. You can also produce it here with one of my modules for the LC battery. The setup on the Sky King flat gonna be exactly the same with my last video. I'm just gonna put the link down in the description. So first thing first, you wanna go to the marker stone and levels up this place for the level 16. And if you're not at level 16, you can always go to the menu, regional development, into regional overview, and check which part of the region that you haven't maxed out yet and level that things up. Then you should be able to get like to level 16. But to get a level 17, even though it's like day 3 but I haven't got it yet, you wanna go to outpost management and sell all the stuff and finish the quest to get to level 17, because it's gonna increase the production of the mining. And to get level 18, you're gonna wait until event started. This is the location of the mining site. Get 2 of these. I wanna make it into like 2 kinds of setup. Like one gonna be the balanced setup, so that way you are producing slightly more than you can sell, so you don't have to check the storage every once in a while. And by the way, my 1.2 setup is basically the balanced setup, but my 1.3 design gonna looks more organized and can be modified into the optimized setup. So that's the differences, which I don't think is necessary. Anyway, you're gonna need 1 fluid supply unit and 6 water pump in this place. And this is how it looks on the map. And all of them are on the same side. And you got absolutely nothing on the other side. And you're gonna need 4 water pump on the other side. Like 1 is up here, and the rest of it is down here. And one of them can be placed right in the middle of the pools. And definitely converge these 2 water pump and drag it to the factory site. Drag it at this phase, gonna make it easier. And the other one gonna be up here. You build 1 water pump here and then you connect it down. But you don't have to converge it here. You can converge it with the top wheels. So it's gonna be so much easier this way. Move your AIC to the bottom left. Go to Wuling 1. Place it on the bottom right. And make sure that you place it to the right. Don't leave the space like this. And now we go with Wuling 2. Place it with the depot bus here. And go to Wuling 3. You're gonna see the space right in the middle. Drag the AIC into it. And for this part, you wanna put in the battery, SC battery. And for this part, you can either put in LC battery or the Valley 4 battery. And it really depends on your energy consumption. You might not even need the third one. And put in the sand leaf to this location. Go to Blueprint, Wuling 4. Turn on and off according to what you need. But most of you are gonna need a lot of Xiranite component. And if you need the Carpium part, you can always come to this port and set the amounts that you need. And now it's setting up the pipe. Put on converter here and link this one to here. Another converter. Another converter, and you put it here. And you want to connect this one to the fluid supply unit here. And this is the one that we connect earlier. You want to connect it to here. the second pipe is connecting to here, and this one is going to here. And yeah, that's pretty much all the pipe work. And depends if you ever want to connect the sewage to the test area or relating the zircon effluence back to the base. Like this conduit is meant for the zircon effluence from the test area. You can connect it to this one if you ever connect it to there. And this one is for the sewage. You can also connect this one to the conduit that is connecting to the test area. And the last conduit is here. So those are 3 conduit that you want to connect it to the test area. But most of you would probably go with the water treatment, and you can just connect all those conduit into this one. I'll just put it right here. It's gonna save a little bit more space, but really you can just put it anywhere you want. So you want to connect this one to here and this one to here. And if you're aiming for the balanced setup, you should turn off 4 of the refining unit so that it doesn't overproduce the cadmium. So yeah, this is the balanced setup. But if you want the optimized setup, we got this space right here. And it is meant for the YaZhen and the JinCao tea. I'll just put on the YaZhen here, lining up here, and you are done. And of course, you want to put in the YaZhen seed. The excessive powder gonna send into the storage, so don't worry about it. And when you delete it, you wanna delete everything here, and up to this point, you don't wanna touch this line. And delete everything here along with the stuff here. And then you can put the JinCao here. And it's gonna produce exactly the same thing but JinCao. Accidentally delete this one here, so connect it back, no big deal. And yeah, you gotta turn these 4 back on for the most optimized production. I also have this blueprint for the LC battery. You can put it right here. But of course, you wanna do this when you find yourself having too much SC battery. You're gonna need 4 acid pump here and 1 fluid supply here. And you wanna get 3 water pump here. So go to marker stone 1 and put it on the top right. Move your AIC to up here and go to marker stone 2. Put it down here and put your AIC into this space. And this is how you want to set up the output port. And converge the pipe here and send it to this location. Connect it here. And the other pipe only need 1 water pump. And by the way, you only need 1 sand leaf seed. Put it here and it's gonna do everything. And this is how you wanna put in the rest of the seed. It doesn't matter if you are using the YaZhen or you are using the JinCao. You can pause it while dropping it. And now we're gonna connect the assets here. Converge these 2 to the top one, or you can connect it to here. It doesn't really matter. This one too, converge it. Nice and easy. And put it here. And this is important. Like you see the pipe splitter here. You want to connect it all the way out to connect it to the fluid supplier here. And you're gonna be able to get the liquid heavy Xiranite here, and but you don't have to worry about like produce too many of them, because I set the control port here is I set it at around 200, and you can grab it with the bottle of your choice. And when it comes to selling stuff, you want to sell all of these evenly. And I just connect my conduit back to the test area, and so I don't really need these. And you can see like the amounts of power consumption is significantly reduced from like 7k to like 6.5k. So yeah, I don't really need this one. And but it's really up to you, because we are overproducing anyway. You can just simply slap in the third SC battery. It doesn't really matter. And that's really it. See ya guys.